is cooking. In my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior. To love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Reese Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith.
Today we are here to discuss our reactions to the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view before WrestleMania, the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, the Elimination Chamber took place last Sunday night.
And for a match card which didn't particularly look strong when you looked at it on paper, I believe it delivered quite well.
Yeah, I agree with that statement as well.
So we will start off with the pre-show match, which
Again, nowhere.
sort of came out of nowhere. No reference to an RKO.
No, me.
But the pre-show match was a match between Mojo Rawley and Kurt Hawkins. I don't know whether they were trying to build something because Kurt Hawkins was once tag team partners with the currently injured Zack Ryder.
But Zack Ryder being injured, that wasn't possible.
But in any event, Mojo Rawley escaped that match with the victory.
Which was, as expected, very hype victory.
But now we move on to the main card. And the main card opened up with the first of 3 women's division matches.
Yeah, first of 3 indeed.
And this one took place between Becky Lynch and Mickie James.
We said, realistically, we had mixed opinions about this, didn't we?
Yes, we discussed this, and due to the fact that Mickie James hasn't really won a match since she came back on the scene in WWE, we thought that they might give her a big pay-per-view victory. However, that did not occur, as in one of the best counteractive moves I've seen in a while, we saw a counter of the cross-arm breaker.
Yes.
Then we had a counter of Mickie James's DDT, which got countered into a schoolboy for a 1-2-3.
And it did deservedly so, although it was a bit of a shocking result because many thought Mickie James would pick up the win considering she's a veteran.
However, Mickie James did pick up a victory in the rematch which took place on SmackDown.
So that kind of makes up for things.
Our next match was originally scheduled to be a 2-on-1 handicap match between Kalisto, Apollo Crews, who would be taking on Dolph Ziggler after Dolph Ziggler had been attacking both of them at various times over the past few weeks.
As Kalisto was making his way down to the ring, Dolph Ziggler said, "No, I'm ambushing you before the match even starts."
Yes, Dolph Ziggler attacked Kalisto before the match even began, prompting Apollo Crews to run out and scare him off. This, however, did not stop the handicap match stipulation, because as the match began, it started off as a one-on-one match and continued towards most of it. However, towards the end of the match, Kalisto made his way back down to the ring, and he and Apollo Crews were able to use the man advantage to their advantage in getting the 1-2-3 victory. However, that only pissed off Dolph Ziggler more, in a night which was filled with sore losers, let's just say.
Yes.
We had a steel chair brought into the ring by Dolph Ziggler, who then proceeded, once Kalisto was taken out, to quite possibly break the foot of Apollo Crews.
Yes, he basically said to Apollo Crews, "Have a seat," except they went on his back rather than sitting down on it.
The next match on the card was the Tag Team Turmoil match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, in which we had 6 teams,
Yes.
one set of Tag Team Championships, in which 5 teams would have to be eliminated before the Tag Team Champions were decided. And just like the Royal Rumble match, this is all about when you come out.
Let's just say American Alpha defended their SmackDown Live Tag Team titles in obviously a Tag Team Turmoil match, in where the teams were randomly drawn out, and let's say it was literally turmoil.
Yes, the first 2 teams in were the team of the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions in Heath Slater and Rhino, and they begun the match facing the Fashion Police, otherwise known as Breezango in Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
And who was the first team to go?
The first team to go was Breezango, following a gore from Rhino to Fandango. Next to enter the fray was everyone's favourite team from the 1950s, the Vaughn Villains.
Let me guess, they didn't last long.
They didn't last that long because Heath Slater pinned
Aiden English?
Aiden English after a smash hit.
No, not literally, not a smash hit single.
Even though Slater used to call himself a one-man band.
True. Next team to enter the match were...
The next team to enter the match were the Usos.
me guess, Heath Slater and Rhino got eliminated.
The Usos eliminated Heath Slater and Rhino after a super kick by Jey Uso.
Ouch.
But it was Jimmy who pinned Slater. The fifth team in were the defending tag team champions American Alpha.
Oh yeah, Reddy, Willing, and Gable. And let me guess, the Usos were eliminated.
As the Usos were eliminated following a roll-up by Chad Gable. However, just like Dolph Ziggler, the Usos did not take too kindly to this
No?
and attacked them after the match.
Again, to edge out of Dolph Ziggler's book, sore losers.
Now, it looked like American Alpha would be easy pickings for the Ascension, who were the last team to come out. However, American Alpha made a comeback and using their amazing tag team finishing move were able to get the 3 count and remain the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
And rightfully so. They are definitely Ready, Willing, and Gable.
I wouldn't at all be surprised if they were the ones to possibly induct Kurt Angle into the Hall of Fame later this year, or if Kurt Angle came back as a manager for them.
True.
Because like we said, they could be Team Angle 2.0.
And our next match on the card was...
The next match on the card was a personal women's match between Nikki Bella and Natalya.
Let's just say personal beyond belief.
And let's also just say that nothing much was solved in this match as it ended in a double countout.
Yes, let's just say more holes were dug.
However, later on in the evening, when Nikki Bella was being interviewed backstage, Natalya attacked Nikki yet again, and we had a small seed planted to the rumoured mixed tag team match that is rumoured to take place at WrestleMania, featuring John Cena and Nikki Bella and The Miz and Maurice. And that was when Maurice was sort of caught up in this brawl backstage because it happened in the makeup area and was covered in makeup going everywhere.
Yeah, let's just say Maurice got a little bit more makeup than she so desired.
And if that wasn't enough, the following Tuesday on SmackDown,
It happened again, except makeup.
it happened again, except this time it happened to be in Daniel Bryan's office. And Daniel Bryan, having had enough of them fighting everywhere and anywhere apart from the ring, has made for next week on SmackDown Live for there to be a Falls Count Anywhere match between these two women. And that is not all that Daniel Bryan made for next week's episode of SmackDown, but we will get to that in a moment.
Yes, we will.
Our next match featured the implosion of two members of the Wyatt family.
Me and Luke Harper.
Yes, Randy Orton and Luke Harper competed in a match which I think was better than a lot of people were expecting, and a match which proved that Luke Harper can work as a singles superstar.
Yes, he gave me a decent fight, let's be honest.
But in the end, it came down to an RKO. And for 1, 2, 3, having Randy Orton pick up the victory and go on to the main event of WrestleMania.
And our next match, I believe, was for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, was it?
Yes. And this match was featuring the Glow of Naomi
Taking on
Harley Quinn / Alexa Bliss.
the SmackDown title.
Now, the whole build to this match was that Alexa Bliss was not taking Naomi seriously.
Yeah. No, she wasn't.
However, following this match, I think she should, because this match was filled with things like the review, which was counted out of.
Yeah.
But the ending of the match came with the Alexa Bliss going for a Twisted Bliss, not to be confused with a Twist of Fate. But was countered with Naomi rising her knees up.
Yeah.
And was and then executed a split-legged moonsault to gain victory and become the SmackDown Women's Champion, and hopefully, when we do stress hopefully, go into WrestleMania and her hometown as SmackDown Women's Champion. However, there is a little bit of worry because when she appeared on SmackDown, she said she might have to vacate the championship due to suffering some kind of knee injury during the actual match.
Yes.
Fun fact before we move on to the main event of the Elimination Chamber. Within the space of 24 hours, both women's championships changed hands.
Oh, yes. Not only does one change hands, but the Raw did and
Yes, because on Raw, the Raw main event, saw Charlotte, for what looked like the 10th billionth time, or more like the 4th time, defend the Women's Championship on Raw and lose it again on Raw. Who did she lose it to this time, I hear you ask? Well, it was everyone's huggable character, Bayley.
yes, Billy has the man becomes the champion.
But this is a SmackDown pay-per-view, so we'll possibly get into more details on that Women's Championship win in a couple of weeks when we bring you Fastlane.
But now, the Elimination Chamber, or should we say the main event of the evening, and also called Elimination Square.
Yes, now we go to the main event of the evening, the Elimination Chamber match. the newly reconstructed new design to the Elimination Chamber. Whereas before it was a giant circle type thing covering the rim and most of the surrounding area. Now the Elimination Chamber is basically almost like a black steel cage that just sits around the ring and extends out a bit more.
It should be called Elimination Square.
And I have heard certain people complain about the way the chamber looks and the fact that the steel on the inside the actual chamber is padded now, but I think they're judging too much because we all know that they can't get away with doing certain things they did in the old school Elimination Chamber matches anymore.
Times have moved on.
Plus the new shape actually allows it to be more easily fitted into modern day arenas.
Yes, and it makes it more easier to use. Anyway, the titles of the match were...
Well, John Cena was defending his newly won WWE Championship of 2 weeks against AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and Bray Wyatt. And just like the Royal Rumble match and the Tag Team Turmoil match, the order of entry can play a huge part as to who wins.
So the first two superstars to start the Elimination Square match.
The first two superstars in the ring were current WWE Champion John Cena and former WWE Champion AJ Styles.
What are the odds?
The third superstar out of the chamber and into the match was Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose.
You should feel right at home in this environment.
It's not quite the Ambrose Asylum, but it's
Close enough.
yeah. The fourth superstar out of pod was Bray Wyatt.
Out.
The fifth person out of the pod was the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin.
Then I believe The Miz.
And The Miz was the final person to be released on the pods.
And then it was Bray Wyatt.
Well, the order of elimination, however, went like this.
First out.
The first superstar to be eliminated was Baron Corbin, and he was eliminated by Dean Ambrose following a schoolboy pin. And let's just say that just like Dolph Ziggler and the Usos, we had another sore loser.
Yes, Baron Corbin put Dean Ambrose through a Lexan pod.
Through the Lexan pod, then hit the end of days in the ring.
And The Miz went, thank you very much. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, and that eliminated Dean Ambrose from the match. But Baron Corbin was not done there and attacked him on SmackDown. And this has, as good as, set up an Intercontinental Championship match to take place at WrestleMania between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin.
That sounds like a good match already. But who was the next superstar to be eliminated?
The third superstar to be eliminated was The Miz, who was covered following an attitude adjustment.
But then we had a shock.
Yes, so it turned into a 2-on-1 match effectively when Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles were seemingly both targeting John Cena. And John Cena was hit with a Sister Abigail and covered 1, 2, 3, making it a guarantee that we would see a new WWE champion and that John Cena's 16th run as champion would come to an end after just 2 weeks.
So now we were down to AJ Styles and Bray Wyatt.
So, they had a short little match, and I think that showed that if they wanted to, they could work a full-on one-on-one match of just them at the moment.
But the way it ended, AJ Styles was going for a phenomenal forearm. Bray Wyatt countered it into a Sister Abigail.
And got the 1, 2, 3. So the new WWE champion, The Undertaker 2.0, otherwise known as Bray Wyatt.
And that also means that I'll be going on to WrestleMania to face Bray Wyatt for the championship.
However, on SmackDown, we had a main event triple threat match with Bray Wyatt defending his newly won WWE Championship in a triple threat match against John Cena and AJ Styles. And despite Luke Harper interfering, or at least attempting to interfere, Bray Wyatt was able to retain the championship and remain WWE champion. But the big story of the night was the fact that Randy Orton forfeited his right to the championship match at WrestleMania, saying that he would not fight Bray Wyatt for the championship as long as Wyatt was champion. So, what did that mean for the main event of WrestleMania? Well, SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan came up with the solution of making a battle royal for next week's SmackDown, where the winner of that would go on to face Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in just over 6 weeks.
Yes. So then that was our Extreme Rules, well, our Elimination Chamber post-show.
Did you just call it Extreme Rules?
I just had it on my mind a second ago. Sorry.
Yes, but join us in 2 weeks where Raw will bring you the final stop on the road to WrestleMania. And it's not just a road to WrestleMania, it will be the fast lane to WrestleMania.
So until then, I've been Sean Randy Smith.
And I've been Lisa Rock Jones.
Join us in 2 weeks for our Fast Lane pre-show.
Until then,
Bye.